buy Wutz's silly GT3 Porsche at 1.4 million, you can have my very reasonably priced Bugatti Veyron at £916,000, and that's all it is really. And I don't know about you, but I had a look at the Bugatti Veyron at Prescott recently. It's not a pretty car. I mean, if I paid that amount of money for a car, I'd want it also to be beautiful. We know it's all very technically competent and it's fantastic and all the rest of it, but it's not beautiful. So, you know, it's the two lads still fighting after all these years. Regrettably, Wutzi Porsche has Parkinson's disease, and Ferdinand Piëch has really become a bit of a megalomaniac. He's bought every car company in the world, hasn't he? It can only be a matter of time before everything else is owned by him as well. And I'm reliably informed that he's Europe's richest man. Is that correct? He's got a fortune of about 28 billion or something stupid. I don't know. It's a hell of a lot of money anyhow. You almost afford to buy supper here with it. Only joking. I've got some notes here. Oh, going back to the 959 downstairs. Fabulous car. And going back to the 50s and 60s, 60s particularly, the East African Safari Rally in Kenya was really an international event that people needed to win, because in those days even the tabloid, or what we now know as tabloids, reported reams and reams about the East African Safari Rally. They don't anymore. And what I've always found so funny, and people at Porsche today are a little bit touchy about it, is that in the 60s they spent an awful lot of money trying to win the East African Safari Rally with the 911, and they never did. And I always think it's terribly funny that privateers in VW Beetles won it 4 times outright, and Porsche, with all their resources and all their money, just could not do it. And when you think that the old man, Professor Ferdinand Porsche, designed the VW Beetle's engine as an aeroplane engine originally in 1912, before the Great War broke out. And then, you know, the car, well, we all know the history of the Beetle in the 30s, this old car, it was old and out of date in 1945 when Ivan Hurst got production going again at Wolfsburg. And it kept beating Porsches in the East African Safari Rally, and I just think that the old man must have been laughing in his grave at the young boys who were trying to do it all. What do we do today about motorsport, particularly rallying? I don't know about you, I haven't been out to watch an international rally for many, many years. The RAC rally used to be a 5-day event years ago. It used to draw thousands and thousands of people, not just motoring fans, but it was a hell of a spectacle. And now I'm told it's full stage in South Wales, and the stages last a few minutes or what have you. That's probably what all international rallies are. I don't know, what can we do about this? I guess the nannies are probably going to win. We're told by government these days that if you drive more than 25 miles an hour, you're a danger and a menace and should be taken off the roads. Can we do anything about it? I very much doubt it. Is Britain so overcrowded now that we can't any longer hold rallies on our roads? I guess not. We all have to go to expensive stage rallies with highly sophisticated cars that cost millions in some cases. I don't know, Subaru, Mitsubishi, all those people that are building cars. It's only 40 years ago you could buy a Mini Cooper S or a 356 Porsche, whatever it was, and go and have some fun. We can't do that anymore. Even historic rallying is incredibly expensive. Motorsport always has been. Anyhow, that's me having a bit of a rant and a rave, I suppose, about motorsport today. Just to finish off, Porsche bits. The debacle in the press today. Porsche trying to take over Volkswagen. Well, why not? Professor Porsche was the director of what became Volkswagen through the 30s. And throughout the war, Porsche never lost Volkswagen. Who suggested that, that they ever did? Porsche designed the Beetle and everything else that went with it. Why was talk in the British press all the time about Porsche trying to buy Volkswagen? The truth is, of course, that if there is a big takeover, legally with shares and all that crumb that doesn't really matter, it means that when Butzi's dead, Ferdinand Piëch will get his way and own the whole lot, and that's actually what it's about. you see the statement in 1998 saying that there would be a car in every sector of the market, class leader, owned by him. And he's done it. The only thing he hasn't got is Porsche, which he desperately wants. And when I was at ZLMC back in September, which is the little Austrian town where Porsche has the family estate, I learned that they have a policy of buying up every farm in the area as it comes up for sale. And they've just bought Pinzgau Milk, the Austrian national milk concern. Why a car manufacturer would want to buy dairy processing stuff, I don't know. I can only assume that megalomania really has gone to the Fiat family, and it's a bit like monopoly. They're buying everything they can afford while they can. Any questions? Sorry. Yes, because no, not originally, it wasn't. No, and you remember at the time there was a sort of unofficial race, wasn't there, with so many manufacturers to build supercars. Sorry. It was ticking that box, and it was because there were so many manufacturers at the time who were having an unofficial race to yes, that's right, to build the supercar. The F40 Ferrari, the EV110 Bugatti came along, as you know, and just did the Jaguar XJ220. Did Lamborghini have a car? No, probably not. Did they ever? That's another thing. And sorry. It was another stamp in the book, and it was also, there were all sorts of people at Porsche at that time who were pulling against established management. Dr. Ernst Furman, the man who designed the 4-can engine in the 50s, the famous 356 Carreras, he was the man who led the sort of coup against very Porsche, really, with Helmut Boss and other people who really wanted to get rid of the 911 because their view was it was becoming outdated and outmoded, and this view that we can't have this car, it's got to be obsolete now, for crying out loud. People aren't going to want a rear engine 911 forever and ever and ever. The fact that they were proved wrong is astounding. We know that. But there were others in the company who said, well, if people won't let the 911 die down, let's see if we can beat Bugatti and Jaguar and all the other supercar manufacturers and build a technical tour de force. And the 959 was the result of that, which I said earlier, it still remains one of the most technically sophisticated cars ever made. And the spin-off from it, of course, as a bit of fun, was the 961, which they painted white in work colours and just went to Le Mans to test what it would be like. And I think it was 1986 that it first appeared in a 24-hour car race. I can't remember where it finished, but it certainly acquitted itself very well and proved itself to be amazingly reliable for a car of that type. And one of the things that came from the 959 or the 961, I believe I'm right in saying that it was the first car to have sensors in the tyres to tell drivers when there was a puncture coming, because, of course, Mulsanne Straight at over 200 miles an hour, you're in the lap of the gods when a tyre blows. Absolutely, and God, there have been so many big accidents on the Mulsanne Straight when tyres have suddenly gone. Having said that, one of the biggest accidents was